Welcome to a starting over podcast episode slash special slash man, I need to go to bed, but I love me some heroclix episode. Uh, I am your host, Edward Shelton, aka Dark Logos, and this is the show where we look at the strategies, tactics, and mechanics behind the game of heroclix. Uh, I just released an episode. I might in real time, not showtime. I recorded that episode that you would call episode 64, probably about 3 to 4 days ago. I just haven't. I'll be honest. I've just been lazy and didn't put it up until the weekend. I mean, most of the time people look for the show around Friday. So, it's something nice to listen to on the weekend when you have time to, on the way to the game. And I mean, sometimes I put stuff up during the week, but, most people don't really look for it then. I sort of noticed that. Like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, when people do not like work, that's when they're looking for the podcast. Now, I do know there are some faithful few out there that actually listen to the podcast, as you drive around in your vehicle of choice. And big ups to you. So if you listen to me while you're driving around town, let me know. Anyway, you might be saying, well, Dark Logos, what's this super special happy fun time episode that you're staying up late to do? Well, pretty much it's on the ATAs, and I have a short story for you. I went and I played a fun team of Justice League in Gizmo with a Lois Lane Pog, a Gold K Kryptonite, and the Bat Signal. I forfeited every round but slaughtered my opponent. And it taught me something. Things are crazy out in these here streets when it comes to heroclix. Like we've looked at some stuff and we said, "Oh my gosh, this is broken." But yet we haven't said, there's icing and a cherry and sprinkles left. And Gizmo is like Sprinkle City. But anyway, while I was playing the Ultimate Death Machine with my lovely venue, I got emails, text, more emails, and my phone was like on vibrate. So much so I thought I was in a massage chair. So I can see that you all really, really, really want to show about the new ATAs. So in recording time, this is like one whole thing. In reality, I may take breaks, pauses, whatever else. And I probably put up an episode. Come think about it. I think I put up an episode with me and my ringtone going off on my phone. Anyway, all right. So let's get to it. For those who don't know, you can go to heroclix.com, and then they're like rules preview for the May 2013 Players Guide, and all that other good jazz. And it's like, here's ATAs. There's a bunch that we should have been releasing over time that would have been awesome. But now, because we can, we're dumping them all on you right now. So if this is like WizKids' trend in the future, that they're going to be like, nah, we're going to wait 3 sets, see what happens, and then Merry Christmas, kids. Here's your ATAs. Yeah. Then I'm fine with that. I do understand the can we please have it now mindset, but when you get like 20 of them, that's like Jiminy Christmas. Anyway, so let's get into it. Some quick notes. Most of the ATAs are balanced. There are some that are underwhelming right now. There are some that are really broke, that are copyable, and then there's some that are uncopyable that are strong but not broke, and some that were about darn near broke. I will say this. You will not know how strong these are for several months because we have to go through Fear Itself and whatever silly event is after Fear Itself. I'm betting it's going to be DC and it's going to be like Final Crisis or some crap like that. There has to be some other like object thing where like maybe from Kingdom Come, something like that we have to play Gotta Catch 'Em All with. So, all right, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, these are not in alphabetical order, but in appearance order, and I'm not like a Marvel fanboy or DC fanboy with this. We're just looking at pure practicality. First up is Defenders. ATA, which they already had one, the order, but oh well. Characters using this team ability may replace their attack value with the unmodified attack value of an adjacent friendly character using this team ability. So pretty much what you can do is have normal defenders stack on this ATA. Now you can share attack values as well. So pretty much all of your guys can, if you chain them up, can have an 11 attack and a 19 defense. If you can get a 19D with defenders, I don't know. So is it worth it? Yes. Is it probably the best thing since sliced bread? Probably not. But for heroclix, it is a good deal. So I actually feel that this might actually change some meta stuff. Definitely when you add in Gravity Feed Doctor Strange to the mix so that you have that lovely energy shield. But overall, I think what we're going to see is some teams pop up and then disappear. It's not going to capture enough people's attention. Where I do find this funny is this wild cardable, and there are some broke figures that you can do with this. And yeah, so at the beginning of your turn, you copy Defenders ATA to attack. At the end of your turn, you copy Defenders standard TA. Now you have the defense. Pretty much do the same thing. All right, next up is Heroes for Hire. Pretty much keyword Heroes for Hire. At the beginning of the game, place a number of hired tokens on this card, equal to the number of characters using this team ability. Once per turn, you may remove a hired token from this card and give a character using this team ability one action as a free action. Now, this is uncopyable, mind you. Now, you might say, like, okay, Dark Logos, why is this strong, or why is this even worth talking about? Well, let's look at it like this. If working together gives us 3 actions as a free action, what would happen if we could use Psychic Blast with our character and then say, hey, I got 2 tokens. I'm going to use Psychic Blast as a free action. Oh, okay. Lose a higher token. Clear, clear, at the end of the turn. What this allows us to do is to do offensive or maneuvers or whatever else we need for free. Now, the trade-off is we have a countdown, is that we have these tokens. And these tokens do not come cheap. And WizKids somehow values free actions highly for ATA, but not for a team dial. Jab, jab, wag of the finger. All right, going on. Legion of Monsters. Characters using this team ability can use plasticity unless adjacent to an opposing character with the Legion of Monster or Monster keyword. So pretty much they're like, yo, dude, we lock you down unless you're one of us. Then we don't want to bear hug you, which is thematic, but okay. I don't see that being too much of an issue. Next up is Maximum Carnage. Now, hold on, just real quick on the Legion of Monsters, just dawned on me. If you really, really, really want to abuse plasticity, get some wild cards in this. Like, I really do believe that. If you really want to abuse plasticity, and it's all new goodness, play this TA and some wild cards. So, okay, going on. Maximum Carnage. When a single opposing character takes damage from an attack by a character using this team ability, after actions resolve, choose another opposing character adjacent to the first. The other character is dealt damage equal to the amount of damage taken. Uncopyable. It's 4 points for that. I think that's strong. Where this becomes interesting is Carrion. I think Carrion has the maximum carnage keyword. I could be wrong, but I think he does. And so it's like, hey, buddy, you got poison, and you're next to another guy there, and yeah, you take damage. Now you can't be like, boom, energy exploding damage, because pretty much you pick a single character. So yeah. Next up is Midnight Suns. Big up to my boy Pat, who's a Midnight Suns fan. Shout outs to you, sir. This ATA's for you. Midnight Suns characters using this team ability can use stealth on their starting click. If that character can already use stealth on their starting click, lines of fire may not be drawn to that character by opposing characters while on that click. Yay! We have League Assassins or Batman, all depending on how you look at things. This can be sort of cool for your wildcard friends because it would allow you to get stealth or pretty much stand out in the open. Yeah, you have stand out in the open stealth. You have Beta Ray Bill without Beta Ray Bill if you already have stealth. Now, some of you might be thinking, Dark Logos, this isn't really too big of an advantage. And then I would say, hey, folks, how many times have y'all played Beta Ray Bill tech like I told you to? My point exactly. Okay? This is really strong because where we saw last year with Beta Ray Bill coming in, the issue was not enough cheap stealth. Then we got a ton of cheap stealth, and then we got the stupid Justice League. Okay? But with this, it's like, doesn't matter my point value. Doesn't matter, I don't have to be within squares of some tip pole. You just can't draw lines of fire to me. This is big for Outwit. This is big for Perplex and Prob, even though it's got nerfed. But mainly for those freaking long-range snipers. You shut them down as long as you have stealth. So, yeah, expect the Cape and Cal and wild cards, Midnight Suns to be popping off as time progresses. And, of course, folks just keep sending me texts saying, hey, Dark Logos, please do something about this. The ATAs. Okay. All right. Next up is Offenders. When a character using this team ability attacks a single character, replace that character's defense value with the lowest printed defense value among all characters adjacent to that character. Uncopyable. Now, this is where stuff gets dumb. Okay? Which one goes off first? Defenders or Offenders? Which one goes off second? Defenders or Offenders? Which one? You tell me, rules arbs and deputies, because this doesn't make sense. Because I could say, I'm sharing a defense, and I can say I have this team ability, and then I can say, oh, you're going to attack me, and I have defenders or JSA or whatever. All right, I'm going to swap your defense with that 14 guy. Well, technically, the 14 guy has the 18 defense from the 18 person. We all have an 18 defense. Okay, but he still has a printed 14. So, does that get locked? I don't know. And so that's something that has to get cleared up. So, I mean, that's something I guess I hope that the rules deputies know. Unfortunately, this is uncopyable. But if you look at it, your Offenders got really strong for those handful of characters that actually have it. So, yeah. 4 points. Not bad. Not bad. Going on, Original Sinister Six. When a character using this team ability hits an opposing character, make that character with a Sinister 6 token. Mark that character with a Sinister 6 token. Sorry, tiny print. Old glasses. When a character using this team ability attacks an opposing character marked with one or more Sinister 6 tokens, modify their attack value by +1 for each token. Yeah, that's okay. When attacking a single target with one or more Sinister 6 tokens, if the target's name is Spider-Man or possesses the Spider-Man family keyword or the Spider-Man team symbol, modify this character's damage by +1. So once you start getting more tokens on people, you get more damage, but more tokens allow you to get plus attack as well. So this is sort of nice because you're able to say, hey, I tagged this character. The next follow-up character attack gets +1. Okay, I sort of tag you again. Now the follow-up guy's plus, 2 attack and +1 damage. So I think I got that correct. I may be wrong. But the old school art is great. Next up is Sinister 12. Need Sinister Syndicate keyword. When you have more characters on the map than each opponent, modify the attack value of each character using this team ability by +1. Well, that can be good if you happen to have a bullseye with a good attack, because we all know that their attacks just suck. So to get a +1 is nice, and you would get a replacement value, then modification. So that's always good. Next up, Spider-Man family. Characters using this Spider-Man keyword, characters using this team ability, possess the Spider-Man team ability if they don't already, and may use the Spider-Man team ability to copy the team abilities, and may use the Spider-Man team ability to copy the team abilities of opposing characters as if they were friendly, uncopyable, of course, because you become a wild card to be a wild card. That's sort of dumb. The cost is 10 points, and it's 3 points if the character has the Spider-Man symbol, Spider-Man TA printed. And again, when they say Spider-Man symbol, that sucker has to be shown in symbol form, either on the dial or on the card. It can't be like, yeah, man, you got Justice League. And anyway, overall, I think that one's really, really good. Because it would allow you to steal TAs to your team. So your opponent has Mystics. Now does your team also now has Mystics. Congratulations. So yeah, this is just like an old feat that we had in the past that would allow you to steal your opponent's team abilities. So, oh well. Next up is Arkham Asylum. Keyword Arkham Asylum. At the beginning of your turn, roll a d6 for friendly characters using this team ability. Those characters can use the indicated power until your next turn. Uncopyable. 1 and 2 plasticity, 3 and 4 elite climb, 5 and 6 phasing teleport. Overall, I find this just okay. 4 points to get this, not worth it. It's nice for fun games. All right, next up is Batman family. Batman family keyword. Characters using this team ability within 8 squares of a friendly character named Batman or Bruce Wayne can use willpower, but most of them already have willpower. When not within 8 squares of a friendly character named Bruce Wayne or Batman, characters using this team ability modify their speed and range values by +1, which is a lot better, unless you're Batman or Bruce Wayne. All right, going on. Batman Incorporated. At the beginning of the game, choose an opposing character for all characters using this team ability. While any character using this team ability is on the map, whenever the sum of all modifiers applied to that opposing character's combat value is greater than 1, the sum of all modifiers is instead 1. Now, please understand what I'm about to say. This is confusing. As a long-term player, I'm going to assume what it means is, hey, homie, you have the Bat Belt. I have Batman Incorporated. You prep time into +2 stats. I say, no, man, you don't get that. You only get a +1 modifier, period, for one thing. Because the sum, that's the total, is greater than 1. So all of your stats are +2. Now you need to pick one stat that becomes +1. So, or any of your other characters get a buff, such as energy shield deflection. I say, nay, sir, you don't get that because your Batman with the utility belt has a +1 due to the utility belt. Okay, so what does this really imply? Hello, I use Batman Incorporated to really hose over the Justice League because they get +2 from their range because of Cyborg. Now I take away a +2, and now you have a +1, which means now you can't use Perplex. So now you have to roll. Good day. Does this, or even more simply, my whole team has energy shield deflection. No, one members on your team has +1. So, well, let me phrase it, not character. Characters. Again, choose an opposing character. Okay, so never mind. That one character, they can't get more than one modifier. So, it's poorly worded overall. So, overall, you listen to me stumble over this live. I did read these over first, but there are some that stuck in my head a little bit better. Not as strong as I thought, but it's still pretty weak. Sorry, it's not as strong as I thought, but I think it has potential to shut some things down or to be really annoying to characters who automatically have powers that give them stat mods. Okay, next up is Justice League Generation Lost. At the beginning of the game, choose an opposing. You need Justice League International keyword. At the beginning of the game, choose an opposing character for all characters using this team ability. Characters using this team ability ignore Henry terrain when drawing a line of fire to that character. So pretty much it gives you Superman for that character for line of fire purposes only. 3 points. That's a little bit high for that, but okay. Next up is Outsiders. At the beginning of your turn, roll a d6 for a friendly character using that team ability. If the result is equal or less than the number of friendly characters that can use this team ability, you may immediately give one of those characters a close combat attack as a free action using its printed combat values, uncopyable. I don't like something that says at the beginning roll a d6, and I'm paying points for that. Then you do complicated math. If the result is equal to or less than the number of friendly characters, so if I have 5 characters, if I roll 5 or less, I get the following. You may immediately give one of those characters a close combat attack as a free action, using its printed combat values, uncopyable. Now, where I become frustrated with this is, okay, you can't use any powers, and that's okay, that's fine. But the next thing that becomes frustrating is that you have to already be next to a character so that you can punch him. and that sucks. And it also punishes you if you play a whole lot of outsiders. So, oh well. But I can see how it gives you some additional aggression. But I'm sorry, Halo next to some character is a bad idea. She's just going to get punched. So I know there are some that are good on that. There's some that are just horrible. So take it as you will. All right. Next up is Birds of Prey. Once per turn, one friendly character using this team ability can use support as a free action. When it does, it may only target a character whom it shares a keyword and subtracts 2 from the d6 instead of 2. Subtracts 3 instead of 2. So pretty much with Birds of Prey, this is the one that I feel is going to be the big hoorah, watch out for this one. Because you got one Birds of Prey character and that you could say is always good, and that's Oracle. Okay, now I wildcard that. All my wildcards are medics. Yeah, subtract 3 from the result, but still, the fact that I can heal for some piddly damage now and then is pretty good. You know, with a 10 attack or an 11 attack, depending on what I have. So I would definitely say the mole count in here is ridiculous. But the Birds of Prey is one I would say definitely look out for. Next up is GCPD. Keywords Gotham City and Police. Both keywords. Let me repeat that. Gotham City and Police. Okay? So it requires both keywords. Okay? All right, so you can't just be like, I got police. Nope, you have to have Gotham City and Police. At the beginning of your turn, characters using this team ability that have no action tokens may be given a move action as a free action with a speed value of 4. Now, for all of you who already know where this is going, give yourself a pat on the back. And for all of you that don't know where it's going, don't feel bad. Pretty much what this does is say, hey man, I can deploy out a lot of figures really easily, allow to pretty much say it like this. It can give lots of my PD guys mini charge or mini sidestep, okay? Now, add that to the GCPD cruiser, and now we see what we have. That pretty much, if I don't have any action tokens, I can perpetually move 4 squares. Now, combined with Gordon, that's 12 squares, and then them moving on their own. That is your starting area, your opponent's starting area. So, using just this in Gordon, you can get a GCPD cruiser from one end of the map to the other end of the map. Yes, I said it. So, yeah, we are in a whole, well, yeah, with this TA and Gordon, we are in a whole new world of reach out and touch someone. Because literally, you can. So, you know, next up, they're going to have some way to give GCPD cruisers Green Lantern TA, and then I'm going to laugh. All right, next up is Justice League. Like, they need another team ability. For 1 point, you can get a character using this team ability modifies his defense value by +1 when attacked by a character possessing flight, sharpshooter, indomitable, or giant combat symbols. So that's okay, whatever. We got +1 defense. They really didn't need it. Next up is the Mob, Gotham City Underworld TA. The highest point friendly character using this team ability can use Mastermind, but may only transfer damage to friendly characters using this team ability. Okay, cool. Not that much to write home about. Red Hood and the Outlaws. Keywords, Outlaws, which means that you can still use it with the Marvel Outlaws. That's all. Opposing characters with the highest point value on their force can't draw lines of fire to characters using this team ability. So again, it's like we're hiding in plain sight. Your big, Superman can't shoot us, and we can just sit there and shoot at him, and now he has to punch us, which for some characters really forces them into some bad situations. Now, this would be great if it wasn't for the fact that most of the outlaws suck. Like a Hoover vacuum. No, like a Dyson. They got cyclone action going on in that. Okay, so does this TA make them better or able to fight? I think not. I think that I really wish that this was wild cardable. But it's not. It's so not, because how many games would be saved because of it? Next up is Wildcats, baby. Yeah! Wildcat keyword required once per turn when a character using this team ability makes an attack roll and one of the dice is a 1. You may re-roll that die uncopyable. Yay. No build up, no tokens on the card, no silliness. We have crit miss protection insurance for 1 point. Play that. Also, we do have bad blade, claws, fangs insurance. There you go. Next up is Fearsome 5. Fearsome 5 keyword characters using this team ability can use Mastermind, but may only transfer damage to friendly characters using this team ability. Uncopyable. Not fun. Don't like that at all. Because most of the Fearsome 5, you're just shunting damage to old Fearsome 5 members. And that's just bad. And they're not the, hey man, let's just go around shoving damage on each other. They're not built like that. They're very soft characters overall, except for like Persuader from way back in the day. Anyway, going on. Next is Gen 13. At the beginning of the game, choose a keyword for all characters using this team ability. All opposing characters with that keyword modify their attack value by -1 when a character using this team ability is targeted. So this is nice because it gives them a little bit more survivability, but it's 5 points per character, which that I do not like. Next up is actually, let me see that. Because when you compare it to that Justice League is 1 point and this is 5. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, going on. New Teen Titans. The highest point friendly character using this team ability can use leadership, but only remove action tokens from friendly characters using this team ability, which is dumb. Because what you're doing is let's say you play 4 Titans, okay? That's 12 points that you've invested in this that for one potential leadership on a 5 or 6. I don't like that. Next up is Nowhere TA, which Harvest is like, finally, I can play something when I'm alone and on other teams. Pretty much that's what every Harvest lover is thinking out there as they pick up his overpriced scythe. Characters using the team ability have no action tokens, can use ignore, hindering terrain, and ignore blocking during move actions. Whoop-de-dinky-doo. Okay, next up is Prime Titans, which, in all honesty, I really didn't think they deserved a TA, but oh well. Prime Titans. When a character using this team ability KOs an opposing character, remove an action token from each uh, other friendly character using this team ability. Uncopyable. Oh gosh. Now, I mean, this does make the Superboy Prime a little bit better, um, because you pretty much get Superboy Prime's trait in team ability form, uh, which is sort of nice. But you can also sort of say if you use this TA with Superboy Prime, you would be able to possibly, I think, remove 2 tokens if you KO'd somebody. If they heal, you have the possibility of definitely taking 2 tokens off, which is really cool. Other than that, I think it's okay. I don't think it's groundbreaking. It being uncopyable is sort of frustrating just because of the fact that Superboy just pulled all those characters out of the future, like most of those out the future or something. I think they all came from the future. I don't know. Anyway, next up is Ravengers. Characters using this team ability automatically break away. Uncopyable. Yay! So you have improved movement as your TA. Good for you. And it would suck if you already have that in your improved movement. That's just bad. All right, next up is Villains for Hire. Villains for Hire, TA 6 points. Choose a copyable team ability. An opposing character possesses. Characters using this team ability can use that team ability for the entire game. So you can steal a TA from your opponent while still wildcarding, and it's all good in the hood. And last up is Young Justice. When a character using this team ability would be KO'd, you may instead turn this character to its last click, but only if you deal 1 unavoidable damage to an adjacent friendly character using this team ability. Why is this a big deal? Let's think about this. This is wildcardable at 4 points. If you're about to kill my big gun, that's a wild card. I'm going to copy Young Justice. I'm going to have as many little piddly dudes next to him, and I'm going to have X-Men or some other whatever stuff around, and medics, tons of medics, okay? And you're about to kill Super Duper Man because he has everything. And I'm like, no, I copy Young Justice. Peddly little pushover man is going to take 1 unavoidable click. I'm on my last click. Shoot him again. Peddly pushover man takes 1 click. I'm on my last click. There is nothing stopping you from triggering that sucker over and over and over and over and over again. Okay? If you have any means of healing, any at all. Let's say your last click you have regen on Super Duper Man because he's super duper, of course. Okay, Super Duper Man's like, yeah, you can multi-spam attack me all you want, man. I don't care. I am just going to keep shoving this damage off to, piddly pushover man all day, every day. And then I'm going to regen up. I'm going to heal up piddly pushover man. And then I'm going to do it again and again and again and again. Okay. So you can go and kill piddly pushover man, but Super Duper Man is going to come up and wreck your face. And oh yeah, I can do the same thing to protect piddly pushover man. Okay. So what does this mean? This is like the second coming of New Mutants. And it's a way more powerful form. Because with New Mutants, it's just sort of like inverse or weirdo mastermind that you can do. With this, it's literally death protection. Like this needs to be removed from the game. I mean, 4 points, heck, this should be 10 points for as strong as this is. Because, okay, what does it not say? once per turn. Okay. Just straight up. So, if you find a way using your magical ciphers, copy this. Copy this for whoever plays it. And I don't even know who has Young Justice keyword and all that and what crappy figure you have to put on your team. I don't really care. But when you hit your next 1,000-point game and everybody's running all this other silly jazz, you go in, you put in this podcast, and you think to yourself, what would Dark Logos do? And Dark Logos is going to yell at you. It's like, what's your plan? Well, I don't have a plan. Where do you want to start? I want to start here in wild card horror, like a big boy. Okay, how bad? I got a lot of wild cards. Are they fragile? Well, they sort of are. Young Justice is your friend. Play that. But what about all these other things? Young Justice is your friend. Bring medics. Okay, I'll bring medics. And boom. Welcome to immortality. You are the freaking Highlander. Okay? And pretty much, I mean, you're the Highlander. Oh, Paul, you're dead. You're converting 3, 5, 6, 7, whatever. They can throw literally infinite damage at you, and you can say, man, whatever, Young Justice, buddy. 1 damage, 1 unavoidable. Kamehameha blast you all the whole map, and then be like, hey, this one guy just took all our damage. We're fine. Sorry you did a double power action, buddy. Sorry. And where this becomes really interesting is when you have situations in which multiple characters would be KO'd, you could just be like, yeah, you would be KO'd, but I'm going to put it on this other guy that's going to die anyway. Oh, you would be KO'd. I'm going to go ahead and put it on this other guy that would have died anyway. And oh my gosh, he died from the unavoidable damage. So he didn't really take the damage that he would have taken anyway. Bam. There you go. Oh, or you can even say, hey, he's about to take his one unavoidable. There's still one other guy over there that can shove it off for him. Okay. You can play so many games with this. But anyway, you can sort of tell where I spend a lot of my time thinking. So I'm going to do a brief rundown of the TAs which I feel are meta-worthy, and pretty much you can automatically just hear why, but just a short list. Defenders, Heroes for Hire, Maximum Carnage, Midnight Suns. Offenders that we can figure out order of actions. Spider-Man family. Batman Incorporated, if you use it. No, I take that back. Not Batman Incorporated. Birds of Prey, GCPD. Justice League, because who doesn't have either Flight, Sharpshooter, Indomitable, or the giant symbol nowadays? Anyway, Red Hood and the Outlaws, but the characters suck. Wildcats, 2 thumbs up and a snap and a twist and a merengue. Going on, Gen 13, pretty cool. Let's see. No, that sucked. And Villains for Hire, and of course, Young Justice. Yeah, that's what's up. I did sort of say the next show was going to be combos, but lo and behold, they dropped ATAs. So I'm going to go back to work on combos. What characters to pair with what. Hopefully the mole count in my recording area goes down so I can breathe properly and enjoy life a little bit better and breathe through my nose instead of it being completely clogged up. All right. So you have any questions, comments, concerns, email me at startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. That's startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. If you wish to opine, keep it interesting, piffy, awesomeness. How's your Fear Itself going? Are you going to play Fear Itself? Do you think this is a money grab? I feel it sort of is. I probably won't play unless I want the prize. after all said and done. And, 6 months from now, I'll be on eBay. Yeah, pretty much. I don't think there's anything that meta that I don't already have. Now, there are some fun characters in there that can surprise you. So, but I'll leave it at that. Yeah, hit me up on Twitter at StartOverPod because Twitter's more fair than eBay. I mean, not eBay, YouTube. Sorry. Then, last but not least, check out the blog, Starting Over Podcast at .blogspot.com, startingoverpodcast.blogspot.com. It's real fun because I talked about Gizmo, and now I will share my insights with you about Gizmo really quickly. Do you have some power that you need on your team that's an attack or a damage power, but you just can't fit it? Put Gizmo on your team, and your whole team will have it for a turn. And if it's attack power, Gizmo could keep popping light objects in, so you could keep granting that magical wish for you to be a real boy. Okay, that came out wrong. That was an insult. I apologize. It wasn't meant to be an insult. It's more like the characters being able to get whatever wish they want, like Pinocchio. Okay, it is too late in the night for me to be up, so I'm going to go to bed. You enjoy this podcast at whatever time of day that you're listening, and remember, we all have to start over sometimes, and man, I need to kill this mold in my recording area. All right, check y'all later. Peace!
I'm into comic books, figures on the wall. She's into looking good, Vicky C's got along. And she loves my flaws, yeah, she's not ashamed. I'm a Peter Parker, she's my Mary Jane. She's my Mary Jane, she's my Mary Jane. She's my Mary Jane, she's my Mary Jane. She's my Mary Jane, she's my Mary Jane. I'm a Peter Parker, she's my Mary Jane. I'm a big nerd around her, but she's cool around me. Never knew how she found me. Electric, but she grounds me. And she loves my flaws, she accepts them all. When the darkness comes, I will get the call. I will swing down